everyone. I'm Nancy Abashian. I just want to thank you so much for coming. This turnout is amazing, and I am so excited for the program that we have ahead for you tonight, so thank you. It really is an absolute honor to stand here today with such an amazing community of people as we celebrate the 50th birthday of Bracken Library. It's a milestone that gives us the chance to both honor our past and look forward to our future. When Bracken Library first opened its doors in 1975, it was more than just a new building on campus. It was a bold statement. The knowledge, discovery, and community belong at the very heart of Ball State University. And over the last 5 decades, Bracken has been that heart. Students have found not only the resources they need for class projects, research papers, and late-night study sessions, but also a place of belonging, curiosity, and connection. Think for a moment about all the students that have walked through these doors. Each one brought their own challenges and dreams, and in return, Bracken gave them something lasting. Whether it was the discovery of a new idea, support to a librarian guiding their research, or simply the quiet confidence of knowing there's a place built just for their success. For faculty, Bracken has always been a partner in teaching and scholarship. Generations of professors have found here their materials, technology, and expertise to enrich their courses and push their research forward. The library has been, and will continue to be, a place where new knowledge is created and forged, not just stored. And for our broader community, Bracken has served as a steward of local history and has provided a welcoming space. Neighbors, alumni, and visitors have found exhibitions, lectures, and resources that connect them to the intellectual life of Ball State. And in many ways, Bracken Library has been the university's living room for our community, inviting everyone in to learn and to grow together. Of course, much has changed since 1975. Back then, hard catalogs lined 1 East. Some of you may remember that. Some of you may have installed them in that area. And journals arrived only in print. Today, students search digital databases, collaborate in high-tech spaces, and access resources from anywhere in the world. Yet one thing has not changed: Bracken's purpose. This library exists to empower discovery, support learning, and open doors to opportunity. As we look to the next 50 years, Bracken's role is more vital than ever. Libraries are no longer just storehouses for books. They are engines for innovation, equity, and student success. Whether it's through digital scholarship, information literacy, or spaces that spark collaboration, community, and creativity, Bracken will continue to adapt to the needs of tomorrow's learners. But beyond the technology and the services, Bracken's greatest strength has always been its people. There are so many people here who have been involved in Bracken's history over generations. It is incredible. Bracken Library will continue to stand as a place where knowledge meets possibility, where every student can find the support to succeed, and where our community can gather in the pursuit of learning. So please join me in wishing Bracken Library a very happy 50th birthday. And may the next half century be just as bright as the 50th anniversary. Over to our most recent Meritorious Service Award winner, Melissa Gentry, our Maps and Collections Supervisor. I'd like to quickly recognize Dr. Amy Petz, our Associate Dean for Strategic Engagement and Learning, to whom we owe a debt of gratitude for the effort she, her team, and countless library volunteers continue to put into the planning and preparation of this celebration and the future events that are scheduled to commemorate Bracken's 50th year. And they will go on over the course of this year, so stay tuned for more exciting things are to come. Please join me in thanking them as well for all of their efforts.
Thank you. So when I started working at university libraries in the map collection in June of 2001, Paul W. Stout, the esteemed map librarian, scheduled short training sessions every day so that I could learn about the collection and its operations. I soon realized, though, that I would also be exposed to professors, staff, and students who visited the collection who would teach me through their research and learning projects. One such visitor was Dr. Taekwon Chang, one of the founding professors of the Department of Political Science at Ball State back in 1966. The first time I met Dr. Chang, he taught me about his home in Fujian province in China. After a few visits, he just very casually and humbly mentioned that he had provided counsel to President Reagan and advocated for diplomacy and the democratization of China, Mongolia, and Tuva. Dr. Chang then asked me if the collection housed any maps of Tuva. Thankfully, we do. So the Library of Congress filing system classifies Tuva as part of the Russian Federation. But Dr. Chang advised me that he would just ignore that fact, since it should be independent. He said it doesn't belong to Russia, it doesn't belong to China. So the next time Dr. Chang visited the library, I let him know that I had created a separate folder of the Tuva maps. In May of 2024, I was doing research for Asian American Heritage Month for the Notable Women of Muncie project. Thinking out loud in my office, I wondered, I wish I knew Dr. Chang's wife. My office mate, Lori Stinton, replied, "Oh, Grace Chang. She's wonderful, very accomplished. Their whole family is amazing." I subsequently wrote short biographies of the successful matriarch, Grace Chang, a trailblazing certified public accountant who for years hosted a community banquet here in Muncie, and her daughters. Tonight, I have the honor of introducing their eldest daughter, Angelin Chang, a Ball State alumna. Here's just part of what I learned about Angelin's accomplishments. She's an internationally acclaimed classical pianist and, like her father, a professor. She teaches music at Cleveland State University. Angelin began playing piano at age 5 and learned how to play the violin at Burris Laboratory School. Her debut performance as a piano soloist was with the Muncie Symphony Orchestra at around age 12. But since that time, she's played on stages around the world, including the United Nations, which is another connection to her father. Angelin was the first artist in residence at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., and in 2007, she won a Grammy Award for Best Instrumental Soloist Performance with Orchestra with the Cleveland Chamber Symphony. She was the first American woman classical pianist to win the award. So ladies and gentlemen, Angelin Chang.
For that generous introduction, and everyone for such a warm welcome. Lady Dean Abashian, thank you so much, Dean Petz, for organizing this. And so great to reconnect so many folks in the community that I remember from a long time ago. Some of you remember from it was just a tiny tot. Provost Hart, thank you so much for being here. Donna Brown. Yeah, Jay, Joe, we played bells together at Burris. Kitty, happy birthday to Bracken Library. I have to say, it is a heartfelt honor for me to be here with you tonight to celebrate, yes, the 50th anniversary of Bracken Library. is, as Dean Abashian had also mentioned, it's more than a structure. It's been a home for learning, a hub of discovery. And for my family, a place of not lasting connection. As many of you know, from Melissa, thank you so much, I am a proud Ball State alumna, and thank you so much for the School of Music. You guys did great. Excellent, Jazz. I'm so happy to see you. Yeah, and so I'm a proud Ball State alumna, not only in music. I have a Bachelor of Music in Piano Performance, and also a BA, a Bachelor of Arts in French. So, yeah, more on that a little bit later. And I was born and raised here in Muncie, Indiana. Went to Burris, like the Turners. Yeah, I actually didn't get my diploma there for a while. But thanks to the 100th anniversary of Ball State University, I was presented with my diploma finally from Burris. Yeah, I went somewhere else and didn't get it. But also a fun fact is that at Cleveland State University, where I'm based right now in Cleveland, Ohio, I am a professor of music. I oversee the keyboard area, pianist, and also I have a joint appointment as a professor of law. I have a JD from Cleveland State University. Fun fact is, President Mearns, he was the one who gave me my JD diploma. So yeah, pretty full circle. But again, as many of you may know, my father, Dr. Angelin Chang, he served as a professor of political science here at Ball State University for over 50 years, nearly 55, until his retirement during this And in a number of days here, it actually marks his 100th birthday. So to celebrate Bracken's 50th, in the same moment that we honor his century of life and learning, feels profoundly meaningful. When I think about both, my father's life and Bracken's legacy, three things come to mind: creativity, perseverance, and inspiration. These qualities shaped him, continue to guide me as a musician, and live in every person who keeps Bracken alive. And some of you may be wondering about my Grammy. Well, guess what? It all began here. Yes, right at Ball State University, in Bracken Library. As a student, I would browse the music stacks and one day discovered Olivier Messiaen's complete catalogue d'oiseaux. They're beautiful, oversized piano scores, inspired by birdsong. Little did I know then that exploring those shelves, studying those works in Bracken, would set the stage for a journey that ultimately led to my Grammy-winning recording and becoming the first American woman, classical pianist, to win the Grammy for Best Instrumental Soloist. My Grammy was for an extremely challenging work by one of the most significant composers of the past century, Olivier Messiaen. Yes, the same composer that I discovered right here in Bracken Library. Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, it's so special. And you know, later on, it's very interesting too that I had the great fortune to be mentored by Olivier Messiaen himself and his wife, pianist Yvonne Morillo Messiaen, the premier interpreter of his piano works. I studied at the Conservatoire National Supérieur de Musique de Paris. I had it as a French major. Or otherwise known as the Paris Conservatoire in France, which is among the most elite musical institutions in the world. That's where Madame Loriot was my piano professor. Back then, unlike the American system where you earn your credits towards graduation and you graduate, the Paris Conservatoire demanded success in their concours or competition system. So no prize meant no graduation. Inhumane, right? Yeah. Well, I became the first American awarded first prizes in both piano and chamber music during the same year. So yes, I graduated. But now, how did I, born and raised in Muncie, Indiana, even earn the chance to enter that dream musical institution? Again, the education I received right here at Ball State University. That provided the solid foundation, technical skill, and intellectual rigor that enabled me to compete at that level. And it was Bracken Library with its extraordinary music collection that allowed me to discover, explore, and connect with great works, including Messiaen's, long before Paris. That discovery provided inspiration that has echoed across my entire career. Creativity begins with curiosity and daring to imagine what is not yet. My father embodied this. He often reserved a room for research at Bracken, studying maps from the map collection. He wasn't just looking at lines and figures, as Melissa had mentioned. He was imagining connections across the globe, carefully tracing lines that became journeys. With Bracken's great resources and amazing staff like Melissa Gentry, he charted a trip to Tuba in Central Asia and met its president. With those maps, he also planned field studies that took students to Latin America and Africa, where they met leaders like Archbishop Desmond Tutu and Nobel Peace Prize laureate and Costa Rican President Oscar Arias. This wasn't just research, it was creativity in action. Applying resources here in Muncie, Indiana to connect with the world. He turned Bracken's materials into real-world experiences, showing students the power of imagination and exploration. For me as a musician, that same spark lived in Bracken's music collections. That day I came across Messiaen's Catalogue d'Oiseaux shaped the course of my life. What about you? What might you discover if you gave yourself permission to explore? With curiosity, imagination, and creativity. Perseverance. And perseverance is, to me, walking steadily, step by step, even when the journey is long or uncertain. My father's perseverance was legendary. Over decades, he lectured in more than 80 countries, always focusing on the shared humanity of his audiences and inspiring students here at Ball State to engage with the world thoughtfully and persistently. Shaped by his own childhood struggles as a refugee, he dedicated his life to making the world a better place through teaching political science and international relations, encouraging generations of students to think critically, engage deeply, and to never give up. Today, That same steady dedication is alive at Bracken here. In my recent interactions, I've been deeply impressed by Dean Abashian, Dean Petz, Amy Gentry, Amy Townsend, the archives, Donna Brown, the archives and special collections team, and the entire Bracken staff. From the front door to deep inside the stacks. Your conscientious work preserves knowledge, welcomes and supports research, and ensures that every collection is cared for with integrity and passion. Walking through Bracken today, I was reminded of its early days. The excitement of a new building, full of promise and the energy of discovery. And now, decades later, that promise continues. Ready to inspire the next 50 years. Now, perseverance is not always grand gestures. It can be showing up, turning a page, helping a student, organizing your own resources, or simply choosing not to give up. Every step forward matters and makes a difference. Inspiration is lifting others so they too can create, imagine, and lead. My father inspired generations of students to see beyond themselves, to think deeply, and to act with courage and compassion. Through his teaching, my father inspired students to see more, do more, care more. He took students on delegations abroad, giving them experiences that they could not have dreamed of, and showing them that the world was larger than Muncie, but also connected to it. Bracken Library continues that same work of inspiration. During my recent tour of archives and special collections, I was struck not just by the treasures housed there, but by the dedication and creativity of the staff, like Donna, the people making those treasures accessible. I look forward to seeing how future collections, including some from my own family, will contribute to that vibrant legacy. I see you found some, that's amazing. Every time a student uncovers a primary source, every time an artist finds a forgotten score, every time a scholar makes a connection, that is inspiration. Inspiration multiplies when you share it. Who is one person you could encourage this week? A student, a colleague, a friend? That encouragement may be the spark of this lifelong journey. For me, Bracken Library was as much a place of musical discovery as academic research. I can still remember walking between Cruz Hall, Emmons Auditorium, the Music Building, and Bracken. So much fun, so much exploration. No, I never skateboarded, but maybe on purpose. Down the steps, never mind. I marveled at the grand spiral staircase, which I still do, beautiful. So that staircase here, and spent late nights studying over there. Oh, and discovered periodicals on pedagogy that have stayed with me to this day. Exploring the stacks, I found works that dared to challenge convention, like Messiaen's music, full of unique colors, rhythms, and texture. I felt the thrill of discovery, learning, interpreting, connecting music with story, history, and imagination. The library, like music, is a living space. It invites us to explore, dare, try, fail, and try again. Each note and each discovery adds a larger composition. Bracken, with its extraordinary collections and the incredible support of the staff, played a pivotal role in setting that stage for me. showing me the power of exploration, discovery, and imagination. What is one project, idea, or expression you've been putting on? Take one step today. Open a book, write a note, experiment, or simply explore. So tonight, as we celebrate 50 remarkable years at Bracken Library, let us carry forward these three guiding lights. Creativity, to see beyond what is and imagine what could be. Perseverance, to walk steadily forward, no matter the obstacles. Inspiration, to lift others so they too can discover, create, and lead. And let us add one simple and powerful action. Give each other hope, H-O-P-E, by helping one person every day. That's H for help, O for one, P for person, E for every day. Hope. Bracken gave me the tools. Bracken gave my father maps. Bracken gives us all light to carry. In the spirit of Bracken, where knowledge, curiosity, and generosity flourish, and in the legacy of my father's teaching and our family's connection to Ball State, every act of encouragement, guidance, or support becomes a seed for someone else's creativity, perseverance, and inspiration. For 50 years, Bracken Library has inspired progress and imagination. Let us carry that forward, giving each other hope, lifting one another, and shaping the next 50 years of discovery and possibility. As we do so, let us carry the torch of knowledge we've gained, emboldened and empowered by the exceptional staff, and be compelled to pass along to others what we have been bestowed. The spirit of Bracken is not just within these walls. It lives in all of us, wherever we go. Here's to the past 50 years, to the people who make Bracken extraordinary today, and the next 50 years of learning of learning with creativity, perseverance, and inspiration. Congratulations, Ball State. Congratulations, Bracken. Thank you, Ball State. Thank you, Bracken Library. Thank you all.
Just asked her in my life, she'd be willing to take some questions. So, any questions, or shall we just start up there?
Oh, I see a hand. All
All
right.
right.
Are the questions for you?
Could be, I don't know.
Well, I can answer them for you. Last the Please, all right.
Did you ever have any doubts as an artist, like when you saw other people's work?
Okay, say it again.
Did you ever have any doubts as an artist when you were coming up and saw the work of others that you might have felt was better than yours?
Did I ever have any doubts as an artist coming up and seeing other people's work better than mine? No, but to answer your question also, there's one thing I teach, and I like to have in my community, overseeing the keyboard area where I teach. We have people of all different levels, and it's not about competition. I've been through a lot of competition growing up. I was just excellent some, which is really great, but I also recognize that it's so important to be authentic. That each one of us is unique, and we bring something to the table that's unlike anybody else. Even if you're practicing the same scales, arpeggios, are you a music student or artist?
Art design.
Art design, right. So even though we go to school or go to museums or go research what others have done in the past, again, that harkens back to creativity, perseverance and inspiration from that material so that you become your own. And that's something that my father also recognized. And I think I was talking with Donna or somebody from the past that, yeah, that's one thing I really appreciate about my parents. They never made me practice, believe it or not. Even though people would ask, oh, how many hours do your parents make you practice? How do you get so good? It's like, they were my teachers that inspired me. It was playing in orchestra with others. It was having fun. It was doing something that I loved to do. It was my own thing. And plus it got me out of doing dishes because after dinner it's like, well, no, I have to practice. This is for school. So they didn't know that I was practicing something that wasn't assigned, but it's okay. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's a different mindset to recognize. And I think also being part of the Grammy, you know, before getting this trophy here, I probably, like many of us, think that the Grammy is just an awards show that's on TV, it's just pop music. But really, that's the Grammys, what you see on TV, they use that as their biggest fundraiser to help other areas, including education. Well, maybe I could tell you. So when I made my acceptance speech at the Grammy, I know that I wouldn't be here but for my teachers. And I mentioned that we all stand on the shoulders of those before us, especially us as musicians. It's the music educators. And guess what? That got a standing ovation at the Grammys. Yeah. And what I'm also very proud of about the Grammys is that they actually heard that. Meaning not just the people in the room, but the following year, the Grammy organization instituted the Music Educators Award. Yeah, and it's still happening to this day. So if any of you know of any music educators that you'd like to nominate, yeah, great. Okay. That's music librarian. Let me tell you about that. I know a guy. I know a guy. But they also have music. They have music preservation awards too. So yes, very forward thinking. So yeah, there is something for libraries. Yeah. But, so I don't know. I probably went a little bit more than your question, but the thing is to seek out community, to do what you're good at, to appreciate what others do as inspiration, but not to compare yourself. It's like apples and oranges. Everybody is different.
I play a lot of music around the house, not myself, but I play it over a speaker. My mother really likes Ravel, and I tried to play her Messiaen, she disliked it. So do you have any accessible Messiaen she made?
I know, it's for the birds, isn't it? Yeah, actually, I was kind of stunned too when I got a Grammy for Messiaen's music, because I thought, oh, I'm just listening to this stuff. But then actually, they really take it seriously, because I have to say, it is a really good recording, because it's a labor of love. It's something that I really wanted to bring forward, and I was stunned when people actually felt that too, because at the Grammys, it's peers, my colleagues who are in the same field, who are recognizing this. That's over the top to be recognized like that. Not just a few judges that may or may not know much about music. I later found out because I became one of those people, and it's like, they're really listening. So, yeah, I'm not surprised that it's hard on the ears as a first timer, but it's great for ornithologists. I was practicing on a piece, and it's so funny, I had a neighbor who was in the Cleveland Orchestra and fathered a biologist, and they love to go birding. And I was practicing this passage, and they said, oh, that's so funny, that sounds like that such and such bird. It's like, oh, I guess I'm getting pretty good. But yeah, so Messiaen, he has a lot of works. One you might like. He was a devout Catholic. So there's, I don't know if you, there are religious themes, but it's like those might be, like his preludes might be more accessible. His earlier works. It's a little Debussy Ravel-ish, but a little bit different. Okay. One thing that colored Messiaen, okay, another play on words, because he had something called synesthesia. So when he heard certain combinations of notes, he actually saw colors. Yeah. So he devised his own, what we would call scales, but we can't call them scales because scales are only major or minor, modes. So his own types of scales that colored a lot of his works. Yeah. So, I mean, it's fascinating. And also he had a fascination with numbers. He was also very much into Eastern, like Indian music, like ragas and all sorts of different patterns so very, very fascinating. Very fascinating. So pertaining to the question that we just had before, yeah, he made something that could have been seen as, oh, maybe a disability or like being so different from somebody into a specialty, what he's recognized for. So yeah, so Messiaen, like his preludes or Vanguard, or his 20 regards on the infant Jesus, that's also relative more, let's say, some of them are more accessible. Are you a music major or?
No, I'm in political science.
Political science. Woo! All right.
Last question?
Any last questions, comments, or for the dean?
Yeah.
All right.
Comment. I was going to say, I see the love of your parents that lives on beautifully through you, that generational Thank you for sharing that with us.
Well, thank you so much for the beautiful comment. You mentioned the generational love, and it's very true. And you see it right here in the front row too. It's a British tradition. The Turner family here too. Yes, absolutely. And I do feel like we're one big family here. Right here, Burris, Allstate, Muncie, the whole community, and it really spreads worldwide. And I think it's something that it's great to know that it's cherished. Yeah. It makes the world really good. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Thank you again for coming. Please don't leave. It's not a big hurry. Come back again. The doors are usually open, maybe not overnight, but you are welcome here anytime. We'd love to see you again and again, over and over. Stay, talk to your friends, have a lovely evening, and thank you again so much for coming to celebrate Bracken's 50th.